Welcome back to Earth 1, and today we're going to be continuing the storyline of Teen Titans. This is going to pick up right where we left off, so if you missed the first episode, click the link down below to check it out. Otherwise, enjoy more of the storyline. If you're wondering what happened, I just hit the monitor over here. When we last left off with the Earth 1 Teen Titans, the Teen Titans had just discovered that they had abilities, and it involved an alien life form known as Starfire, and that Vic's mom was the one behind most of it. But that's when they discovered that another of the individual's father, Slade Wilson, had arrived and was actually Deathstroke. Vic puts his fists up asking, "What the hell? We aren't going anywhere with you." And Slade charges forward, grabbing and snapping Vic's arm, telling him that he needs to calm down. With his other hand, Vic punches into Slade, knocking him across the beach, and Joseph asks if he's alright. Slade starts getting up, telling Joseph that he's sorry, he never wanted him to be a part of this. Tara then runs up, telling him, "Wait, I know him. He was the guy that I saw my mother with before my dad left." Slade says, "Look, I don't have any idea who your father is. He was not the man that you thought he was. We all did this to protect you." A rock shoots out of the ground at Slade and Tara screams, "Liar!" But using his staff, Slade cracks Tara in the back of the head, telling her, "You need to stop." Gar then leaps in, shouting, "Do not touch her!" And Slade smacks him away. Vic then steps up, and after being punched back, Slade tells Vic that he's sorry, and he pushes a button. Suddenly, all of the metal on Vic begins to pull apart, and he screams out in pain. Joseph says that maybe they should all listen to him, and Gar gets up, telling him, "No way. Your dad's a psycho. Unlike my dad, Steve would never lie to me." At that time, over at the undisclosed lab, Eleanor tells Rita that she must admit she missed her astute mind. All of their new recruits are excellent, but none of them compare to the original Star Labs team. As the two of them walk down the hallway, another doctor runs up shouting that there's something wrong. Her EEG is off the charts. They can't seem to calm her down. Eleanor runs over to the containment cage, and as she looks in, she says that it's unbelievable. Look at her eyes. Eleanor then says to up the dosages, and Rita tells her to wait. Think about it. It's been 16 years since that ship crashed. She was an infant then. And Eleanor tells her, "Wait, are you suggesting that she's hitting puberty?" Back in New Mexico, Raven stops in a place stating, "Am Starfire. Need help," and then calls to the ground. Raven's grandfather rushes in to get his medicine to try and help, and as he performs his rituals, Raven says something in the alien language, and then, "Need help." An image of the fight on the beach appears in her mind, and she yells, "No, not her. They need help, but how?" Her grandfather tells her that she already knows, and touches her forehead, telling her, "You're a bird. A beautiful raven." At that moment, a dark energy surrounds Raven, and then she appears before Slade and the kids. She shouts to get his hands off of the girl, and then a thin beam shoots through Slade's head, causing him to release Tara. Everyone watches as the image of a raven fades, and Gar asks, "Was that Starfire?" Vic tells him, "I don't think so. That's not the girl that we saw." Joseph checks Slade and says that whatever she did, he's alive. Back in Star Labs, Eleanor walks up to a cage and says that she can't stop it. Whatever Starfire is doing, she can't stop it. Another doctor named Joshua says that she is far too dangerous to be let out into the open. Their employer will not allow her to get out. The decision has been made. They have 1 hour to fix this or they will terminate her. A timer then appears and Eleanor shouts to the other doctor to stop it. And he says that there's no way. The cell has been put into lockdown and can't be overwritten. Joshua then says that it would be a shame to lose her, but they've gained so much already. After all, they still have the Blackfire Project. Rita says that maybe he's right. Maybe all of this is just coming back to haunt them. And then Eleanor grabs Rita by the throat, telling her to shut the hell up. She has no idea what she's talking about. That's why they gave her babysitting duty, and she still found a way to screw it up. Now just get out of her way and let her think she has work to do. Back outside at the lighthouse, Vic says that this is it. Joseph tries to open the door, and with it being locked, Vic tells him to let him try. He grabs the knob and he rips the entire door off, and as they all look in, they see a stairway leading down, and they begin to follow it. Everyone hurries on ahead and they find a metal door, and on it a plate reading Incubation Lab 1, the Titans Project. Joseph says that he doesn't think that this is a good idea. There's no telling what could be behind that door. And Vic shouts, "No. Starfire's in there and we need answers." He punches the doors open and Gar says that he thinks he knows this place. Vic and Tara both say yeah. And as Tara looks around, she says maybe coming down here was a bad idea. Gar looks over at some of the lab rats, and as he touches one, he changes into the form of a rat. And he tells them, "Hey, check it out." Vic tells everyone to stop messing around. There's something over here. Everyone looks through the window and they see an incubation lab, all without anything inside of the tubes. Tara looks at one of the chambers reading Tara. and asks if that's supposed to be her. Another reads cyborg, and Vic punches the window asking, "What the hell did they do to us?" Joseph then shouts for everyone to look, and when they look into the tube, they see it filled with water and a person floating inside. Joseph asks if he's alive, and Gar says that it looks like he's breathing. Just then the lights turn red and the doors open with Eleanor standing there telling them to look at them. Look at them all! She's so proud of them! She's so sorry that it happened the way that it did, but welcome home! Welcome to Star Labs! Vic steps forward asking, "What are they? Please, just tell them that." Eleanor takes off her glasses and says, "When we found you, her ship had crashed here. We knew that we could use her. We knew that her amazing alien physiology held the many secrets that we needed, and it was just waiting to be unlocked. Unfortunately, all of our early attempts at grafting her DNA to a human subject failed miserably. Then it struck me. They were too old. The subjects needed to be young like the alien, which is why we needed you." Gar asks, "Did you just say alien?" And Tara shouts asking, "Where did we come from?" Tara's powers begin to show and a guard knocks her out, and Vic runs over grabbing the guard. Eleanor shouts to all of the children that they're being ridiculous. Control yourselves now. All of you have had horrible lives, no parents, no families. You all would have grown up in foster homes and God knows what else. But here, I have made you all special. Vic holds out his arm asking, "Does this look special? My body is slowly being covered in metal, and you can live with that?" Eleanor tells him that she can die knowing that the work that she has done is the single greatest leap for mankind since fire. All she wanted was for them to be extraordinary. Yet they all want to be average, but it's not too late. She's here, and she's in trouble, needing their help. Gar begins to look around, and that's when he sees a body on a table, and he realizes that it's his father, Steve. He runs over, and Eleanor asks, "Couldn't you morons move that thing instead of leaving it out in the open?" Gar spins around and charges at Eleanor, slashing at her face, shouting, "I'm going to kill you!" Tara then begins to create stone pillars, knocking the guards away, and Eleanor says that she's sorry she can't let this go on. They were always expendable. Vic grabs Eleanor by the neck, yelling to get this thing off him, and she tells him that there's no getting it off. "It's a part of you. You're the most special of them all. The spacecraft, it was made of the most amazing metal, living metal." Vic's grip tightens and Eleanor manages to say, "Joseph, it's time." Everyone looks back at him and he tells them, "Actually, it's Jericho. Contact." His eyes light up and he runs, jumping and phasing into Vic. Vic tells everyone that he can't control himself. "Everyone run!" Through Vic, Joseph grabs Tara and Gar tells him to stomp it. As Joseph looks at him, he phases out of Vic and jumps into Gar. Suddenly, Gar's body changes into a gorilla and it punches into Vic. Tara shouts for him to get out, but as Joseph looks at her, he phases out and into her. Joseph uses Tara's powers to crush Gar, but before too much pressure can be applied, the steel batons hit Tara in the back of the head. Her body falls to the ground, and as Joseph looks back, he sees his father, Slade Wilson. Slade tells him, "That's enough. Don't even try it. You learned that trick on your 10th birthday, remember?" Slade slaps Joseph to the ground and he pulls out a knife asking Eleanor what has she done. And she said that she allowed him to see the great work that they were doing. Now, you can be a part of it. But before Slade could kill Eleanor, she reaches down, pushing the button that she used against Vic. The metal on his body begins to pull away, and as Joseph is set free, he looks into Slade's eyes and phases into him. Slade falls to his knees, and with the knife still in his hand, Joseph begins to pull the blade closer to his own head. Slade struggles to keep control, and he shouts for Joseph to get out. Part of Joseph is pushed out, and that's when Slade loses control of the knife. The blade cuts through the air, slicing into Joseph's neck. He begins to cough, and Slade shouts, "No! Look at me! Take my body! Take it!" Joseph takes the chance, jumping back in, and he begins to escape. Before anyone can chase him, they all see Starfire's eyes, and they hear her speak. The kids get back to their feet, and they set off to the cage where Starfire is being held. And Eleanor tells them to wait. It's not too late. She can help them. Just help her with Starfire. Vic grabs Eleanor by the wrist, crushing it, stating that he's learned enough from her to tell when she's lying. Everyone looks at the cage and they see Starfire. And she says, "Am Starfire. Need help." Eleanor shouts that they need to hurry and get her out before she dies. They're going to inject her with poison. Vic looks at his fist and he says that if he's doing this, it's not for her. And he punches the cage over and over, and soon Gar changes form to help him. The combined strength of the two of them cracks the glass, and everyone runs in, unhooking Starfire from the wires. Eleanor climbs in, stating, "Thank God," and as Starfire looks up, she says, "Stone bad. Stone bad." Eleanor says that she's sorry. "Please don't." And Starfire releases a blast from her hand, burning Eleanor alive. As Starfire gets out, Tara says that they came. They came to help her. And she gets back up, telling them, "Not you." And she blasts a hole into the ceiling. Before anyone could do anything, Starfire rockets through the hole, and Gar asks, "Did she just ditch us?" Tara shouts that she used them. She totally used them to get out of here. She's just like everyone else. She turns to leave and Vic catches her, and she asks where are they supposed to go now. A voice tells them Utah, and Tara looks back at Rita asking what did she say. Rita goes on stating that there used to be talk of another facility in Utah, something called Blackfire. It's not much, but it may give them more answers than she can. The man who did this, his name was Calder. He's at the Utah facility. Tara asks why they should trust Rita, and Rita tells them that they can't. They should never trust anyone again, but before they go, Tempest, he'll need this. Gar then says that they should get going because he begins to hear helicopters coming this way. As Tara takes the suit, she asks, will you kill me like Dad? Rita hands over the helmet stating that they all deserve what's coming to them, but she doesn't. She's innocent in all of this. She just figured that they would like to know who's really behind it. There are plenty of times where she wanted to go there herself and kill that man, but she never had the guts. They do. And with that, Gar takes the body of his father. Vic puts on the special suit that Rita referred to as Tempest, and they escape. However, it's been 4 days since Raven had the dream about the others, and much like her, they are on their own. As she gets up from the bench that she sat at with her father, she feels something calling to her. She walks through the desert and back to the cave that her grandfather once showed her, and when she arrives, she sees someone. Raven stumbles back, and before her is Starfire. She says, I am Starfire. Need help. And there you have it, the conclusion to Teen Titans Volume 1. Now we have all of the Earth 1 other storylines. We have Superman, we have Batman, and we're going to start going into the Volume 2s of all of these various Earth 1 storylines. Hopefully they make stuff like the Green Lantern one and the Flash one eventually, but they've been talking about that for like 4 years, so who knows what's going to happen with that. Check out on the screen right now, you'll see the patrons who are supporting us through the problems right here at YouTube, and you can click some of the other links to check out other videos right here at Comicstorian. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time right here at Comicstorian. Teen Titans, go! Teen Titans, go!